Dishes. Six. Christy. Dog Proud. 2-3, number 1.
I control myself in a positive manner and to avoid taking it reduces my growth or my physical health.
Number 2.
I intend to develop self-discipline in order to bring out the best of myself and others.
Remember, when you see this 2-3, you should totally feel hands on your side, shoulders back, chin up like that. 2-3, number 3.
I intend to use what I learned in class constructively and offensively to help myself, my fellow man, and never be abusive or offensive.
And Christy! Nice job, team. All right, so right from here, we're going to warm up with our square out. We've done these in the last couple weeks. If I want to start in a good release, my hands are by my face. I bring my shoulders out, my hips out, and I step right back to my gut. If you look at it from this side, again, my front foot comes back, my hips come out, my hands come up to the guard, and I step right back, right? So everyone try this with me. Left side forward, guards up, ready. So left side is forward. So hands are by your face. Step back on your left, keep your hips out, we'll kind of keep your head in. So instead of bringing everything out, look how my head stays there, and then it come back, right? So everyone hips out, and then step right back up. And step up, hips out, step back up. Look how my body curves, everyone. I step out, my body leaning forward, and then I step back in. So look how my head almost stays right where it was, right? Show me again, ready? Square out, and then step back in. Square out, and then step back. Hands are up, otherwise you can hit the head. Square out, and then step back. And then you square out, and then the waist, and back up, and square out, and back up, step back up. Square out, and there you go, step back up, and one more time, square out. Now this time as you square out, you're going to do a low carry. So imagine somebody is kicking me in the body, and as they do, I push the leg right by, and then I step right back up. This could be a front kick, side kick, or even a roundhouse kick, right? Because it could be that I want to go to kick Rory, and as I kick him, he squares out and he pushes my leg through the other, right? So I kick, he pushes with the other way of going, all right? Oh yeah, good job. And then he just like the pass by, right? So again, I go to kick him, he squares out, pushes my leg by him, and then he's still right back to the guard, right? So everybody, left side forward, guards up, and step back with your left, push with your left, and then come back to the guard. And again, step back with your left, push with the left, come back to the guard. Step back with the left, push with the left, back to the guard. Now, every time I say go, it's like I'm throwing a kick. But instead of me throwing a kick like this, I'm like kicking you fast, like I'm trying to kick you in the stomach. Do you want to move slow? No, you need to move fast. I'm trying to kick you. Get out of the way. Block and get right back. Ready? Go! Block in the back fast. Go! 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 Nice and go! Now I have a cross hook after that, so I square out. As I step back in, I go cross up. So everyone do this with me. Ready? Square out, push, step back in, cross up. And then back to guard. And again, square out is your low carry, step back in, cross up. And step out, low carry, step in, cross up. One more time. Step out, low carry, step in, cross up. Now as you're doing this faster, visualize someone's in front of you and they want to kick you. And as soon as they want to kick you, push the foot, cross up. Make sense? All right, let's see. Guards up. Ready? Go! Ready? Go! Square up, cross up. Go! 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 House. Go! Go! One more time. Go! All right, so now let's practice our right leg roundhouse kick. As we do this, we're going to step left and then we kick with the right. So watch first. I step with my left foot and then I fire my right leg roundhouse kick and then get right back to my guard. Everyone do this with me. We're going to step with your left, roundhouse kick right, and then step right back to the center of your square. And step to the side with your left, roundhouse kick right, and then step right back to the center of your square. Step to the side with your left, roundhouse kick right, and then right back to the center of your square. So every time I say go, do it fast. Go! Ready, go! Ready, go! Couple more times, ready, go! Step, kick. Go! Step, kick. And set. I should have courtesy. All right, totally still is Mr. Tester running through the front, so I feel good back up for doing for you. Oh, you're sir. Starting the front show, you're back to the driving like this. We start, and we'll do this with our right hand. To our right hand up in the air, we want to get no room in between our ear and our heart. So we're like up, right up against our head. Turn our body, bring our elbow down and grab the top of the person's arm to our other arm. We throw the elbow, just hold it straight, and grab and throw a knee. And kindergarten, we don't let that out. And then position, yeah, there it is. Bring the arm up, turn the shoulder, bring the elbow down, grab, throw the elbow, throw the form, grab and throw the knee. And kindergarten. And we're back in position. Yeah. And then put on the elbow through the right, and shoot the arm up, turn the shoulder, bring the elbow down, grab, elbow, form straight, grab, and fire the knee. Next we're back in position. Yeah. Do it again. Shoot the arm up, turn the shoulder, bring the elbow down, touch it, elbow, form straight, grab, and knee. Next we're back in position. Yeah. You got the part time. Ready? And go. Yeah. Work as you can be found in there. Put energy breaking in position. Yeah. Go. Work guys. What's that hand? Last one. Go. Position. Yeah. Go. Guys. And now we're going to do it side to side. From here, we're going to step with our left foot. We're going to come up with our left hand. With this, we're going to throw a approach to our close right with our hand like that. So all take that. So here, let's do that. One more time. Good job. We're going to elbow up in the air. We're going to form straight. We're going to grab. We're going to fire the knee. And then you're going to be my heart. So grab in position. Yeah. So step, pull down, and fire straight. Elbow up. Form straight. Grab and fire the knee. In position. Off back here again. So step, block, and straight. Just elbow up. Form straight. Grab and knee. Like we're trying to keep your guard in position. Let's do that again. So I'm going to step, block, and form straight. Elbow up. Form straight. Grab and start knee. Okay, start in position. Let me keep forming out. Ready? And go. Start up in position. Go. Next we're going to start in position. Last one. Go. And relax. Now we're going to do a back choke. Let's put the 7 to the back. So I'll take this one. We're going to start with our right hand and our left foot. We step with our left foot and shoot up with our right hand. So it's our here again. Then we look under our right arm like this. And we step all the way through. Now, and we throw our back elbow. Arm straight. We're going to grab and we're going to fire our back knee into our right hand. And we're going to end with our right hand facing the camera in this case. And the person is attacking you. And how do you not face them? Done. And position where you and again, right? So step and put your arm up. Grab under the arm. Step all the way through. Throw your elbow. Form straight. Grab and fire the knee. And position where you grab straight. And step with the left. Step to the right. Under the right arm. Step all the way through. Under the elbow. Form straight and knee. Good job. And position for me. And do that again. Step to the left, shoot up to the right. Under the right arm, step all the way through. Good job.
So your elbow, the forefoot, and your knee. Good job. Make sure that you're facing the camera and just go to me. You guys ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Ready? And go. Just go to me. More go. Work ignition. One back, one automatically. Go. Work ignition. And
And now, last week we started working on somebody throws a wide right hand at you. And then you have to do the bursting concept, right? The palm right into the knee. So let's practice this again. Visualize somebody who's bigger, they're stronger, they're uglier. Throwing the right hand, wham! So that's the motion that's coming at you. Everybody facing your position. Step forward with your left foot. Block strong with your left hand. Palm is open, palm is forward. My right hand at the same time is going to palm straight right out. Right? Now I'm going to grab with both hands, fire the knee, and then right back to my gut. And again, neutral stand, position. Step out with your left, block with the left, palm with the right. Grab with both hands, fire the knee. Back to that. And position. And do it again. Step to the left, block with the left, palm with the right. That all happens at the same time. Grab, and then fire the knee. Back to that. And position. And step to the left, block left, palm right. Grab with both hands, fire the knee. And position. One more time, slow. Step to the left, block to the left, palm to the right. And then grab with both hands, fire the knee. Good, and neutral stance position. Now we're in performance. So when I say go, you're going to go, sia, sia, aya. Let's see it, right? Position. Go. Sia, sia, aya. Nice and sexy. Position. Go. Sia, sia, aya. And position. Go. Sia, sia, aya. Position. One more this time. Ready, go. Position. Go. Position. One more time. Go. And relax in. So the next one is an aggressive push. What that means is I'm walking up. I imagine this was Rory. And I walk up and I push him. And I'm like, I heard what you were saying about me the other day. Right? But I give him a hard shove. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands together. Bring them between the person's arms, clear, and then we just simply push them back. And what ends up happening is, let's say that I go to push this target, and I'm giving it an aggressive push. And you do this. What ends up happening is I miss the target because you cleared my arms. My arms are aiming at your chest or your shoulders, and now I miss. So this is what I do. And then you're falling forward. So that's what's going to happen. We have to make sure, number one, we step away from the person, not in, because we know the momentum is going to keep coming at us. And then secondly, we want to get our hands up quick because they're about to fall into us. We want to create space. Right? Make sense? Ready, position. So step back with whichever foot, doesn't even matter which one, whichever one you feel the strongest with. Step back, hands together, clear. Push back, and get right back to your gut. Hands in position. And hands together, step back, clear. Push back, back to guard. And position. Hands come together, step back, clear. Push back, back to guard. And position. And again, hands come together, step back and clear. Push back, back to guard. And position. One more time, slow. Hands together, step back, clear. Push back, back to guard. And let's try it a little faster now. Ready? Position. So the push comes down every time I say go. Ready? Go. Clear. Push back to guard. Position. Go. Seal. Seal. Yeah. Position. Go. Position. Go. One more time. Position. Go. Good, and relax. And then the last one is a tackle. So now somebody's coming up, and maybe they pushed you, Maybe they even tried to punch you, and now they're falling forward, and they're just trying to grab a hold of you and take you down to the ground, right? So now what we have to do is what we call a sprawl. Everyone say sprawl. And what a sprawl is let's say that Bob, you guys don't know Bob, right? I'm going to bring him over here in the middle of the floor real quick. So the Zoom team can see Bob trying to attack me. Bob, this is everyone. Everyone, this is Bob. So we're going to pretend Bob just came through to try and tackle me. So what the sprawl is I'm taking my hands, I'm putting them on his shoulder, I'm keeping them away. Because from here, if his arm's going to be able to reach my leg. No. Right, so his arms are probably about the same length as mine. So he can reach my shoulders, but for him to reach all the way onto my legs, that's like almost 5 feet from his shoulders to my knees. Oh no, he's trying to tap me. Right? We got the whole first part. There he is. He's down here, he's trying to tackle me here. Right? So he's down around my waist, I'm pushing off of his hips. Right off of his shoulders. So I'm pushing off of this. Well, Bob would really be like this trying to tackle me. Right? So as he's on top of me, I'm pushing off at him trying to keep his face. Right? What's that? Good job, Bob. Let's just wheel you out here for a minute. All right, so ready? All you're going to do is when I say go, your hands go to the waist, your hips shoot back, almost like the square out, but I want to keep my feet a little bit wider, right? And I can push my hips away from where my hands are. So look how my hands are right here. My hands don't move, my body does. Look where my hands are. I push, and my hands are basically in the same spot, right? Everyone see that? All right, so show me that. Ready? Hands by your waist. Keep your hands right there, but visualize like you're pushing and push your hips back. Good. And then step back up, hands by the waist, push the hips back. And then step back up, hands by the waist, push the hips back. And then step back up, hands by the waist, push the hips back, and now fire a knee. All right? And then step back up, hands by the waist, push the hips back, fire the knee. Good. And then step back up, hands by your waist, push the hips back, fire the knee. Now, as soon as I say go, you're going to go, tia, tia. Ready, go. And then right back to guard. And then position. Go. Tia, tia, tia. Position. Go. Tia, tia, tia. Position. One more time for them. Let me see it. Go. Position. Go. Position. Last one, go. And position. Courtesy. Gloves on. Well, here's a quick tip. I heard this earlier from one of my mentors, Chicola. He got it from his grandfather. Whenever you're in a hurry, slow down and take your time. Yes, Noah? Doesn't take 10 minutes to find your shoes. It's easy. Listen really closely. This is so simple. You guys ever find that you lose stuff all the time? This is how easy like this. Always put things where they belong. My keys have one place that they go in my house. Every time I get home, I walk in the house, I walk into my kitchen, I put my keys in the exact same spot every time. So I can find them every time. They're always in the same spot. When I go in the house, I take my shoes off, I put them right in the exact same spot every time. I never have to look for them. Always in the same spot. Isn't that brilliant? Yes. Brilliant. All right, face towards your targets. Position! Guys are ready! All right, so now the same drill that we did during the warm-up. Your target's going to be there in mere moments. This professor's in the middle of fixing him as I speak, right? So now, here's my target. Everybody watch. Look at me. Don't look at him, right? So from here, I square out with a little parry like I did in the warm-up, and then I step in cross hook, and then I'm right back to my guard. Square out, and then step right back in, right hand left hook. Those of you that have gloves on, how do you think I want you wearing gloves? Rory? It does hurt when you're barehanded. Why else, Oren? It does make you stronger. Why else? Why do I want you wearing target gloves when you're hitting targets? You can hit how? What do you think, Noah? Hard, right? So you can punch hard when you have gloves on. You can hit hard. You don't have to worry about it, right? So again, low parry, cross up, left side forward, guards up, right. Strong, yes, sir. Try to be as loud as word. Good work. Yeah. Nice. So then you're gonna have to step into the roundhouse. So first, here, let's play this one here. No, that's for you. And then this one is 5 and great. Okay. And time! All right, so really quick before I turn it over to Mr. Custer, I want you guys to watch this game. Larry and Jordan, sorry, you guys are going to demonstrate for me. So Larry, you can go first, and then Jordan will follow up, and you guys just keep bouncing back and forth while I talk, okay? Ready to go. So notice how as soon as one of them is done, the other one goes right into the move. They're not hanging out, standing around, looking around, wondering what's going on. They're working, and then they're right back to the guard. As soon as their partner goes, they fight. Right? Everyone understand? Give them the thing. You're working on your own outfits.
You guys are doing our backward roundhouse kick. But instead of just going from where we are, we're going to angle for it. So we're going to take our knee legs before we step to the side. We're not going to step to the front, and then we get some focus in the absorb the kick. We're going to step to the side, and then we're going to throw our backward roundhouse. So we'll show that one time. We're here, angle to the side, throw our backward roundhouse. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Start up. And good work. Now you put those two together. I got who? I got you. All right, so now I'm going to square out as I go parry. I step back and cross up, and then I step to the left, right forward to the right line. All right, should we do this one or should we do condition?
finishing in 7. 2 to 10. Here's what you do. 2 to 10. Zoom team, of course, you can do this as well. You're doing 2 punches, and then your partner does 2. And then you do 4 punches, and then your partner does 4. And then maybe 6 punches, and then my partner does 6. And then guess how many? 8. And then guess how many? And then guess how many? No, we go back to 2, right? So 2, 8, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then go back to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Go back to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. All right, here we go. Left side forward. By the way, if you don't have a partner, you're going to do it and then take 1 deep breath. So you go, yeah. And then I do 6, all right? And strong answer. Good one. Nice damage, Noah. Come on, punch those targets hard. Squeeze those hands tight. Try no shoulders break through. Stand up. Put that down. Or wherever you are. You can do it here. Right, yes. Nice job, Noah. Turn your body side, turn your left forward. Ready? Here we go, ready, go. Punch with me. Wait, there's 2, not 4. Your turn. Hand back to the face. Look to the face. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go, 1 face. Down your waist. From the face. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the face. Right back to the face. Why is someone punching over there? Come on, the face is moving. Gosh, one better not. All the way out, all the way back. Time! Everyone face towards partner's position! Set! Receive! High five to everybody. Alright, and turn back around, face towards front. Relax, hands on your back. So in our philosophy conversations, we've been talking a lot about interacting with other people. And this week we're talking about people versus problems. If I have a difference with somebody and we're having a discussion, do I want to talk about them or do I want to talk about the problem? The problem, right? So let's say that Rory and I are in school together and we have a project that we're working on together. And I did all of my work and Rory is late getting his work done, right? And so I'm like, Rory, what's the matter with you? We were supposed to have this done by tomorrow, and you haven't done anything at all. I can't believe you. I'm going to fail because of you. Am I talking about the problem, or am I making him the problem? I'm making him the problem, right? What I want to do is I want to draw the problem out of the person and talk just about the problem, not about the person, right? So instead, I might say, hey, Rory, we're in a really tough spot. I did my part. You were supposed to do your part, but your part's not done yet. Right? So what can we do to make sure that we're getting your part done so that we can get a good grade? Right? Does everybody feel the difference between the conversation? Right? So I'm trying to make him less of the problem and try and focus on what is the solution to the problem, right? Instead of just chastising, instead of yelling at him, I'm trying to figure out what is the solution, right? Because a problem only goes away when you do what? When you talk about it or when you solve it? When you solve it, right? If all I do is talk about how it's a problem, it doesn't get solved. I've got to think solution. And when focused on the person is the problem, it's hard to find the solution because how do I find a solution for Rory? He's like forever, at least for the next 100 years, right? Whereas if I talk about the problem, pull that out and say, well, how do we fix this problem? Let's fix this behavior. Now it's a little bit different, right? Now we can find the solution and we can move past it. Make sense, everyone? Right? And keep in mind the other side of this. The other side of this is when most people talk, they don't understand this. So when adults redirect you, sometimes it comes across as you're getting yelled at. And sometimes too, it is true, you're getting yelled at. And when you do something that's silly or not quite acceptable and you should know better, and your parents going to be nice or they possibly don't. They're going to yell at you. How many times do I try to wear shoes, right? Not that hard to figure out. So many times adults may not fully understand, and certainly other kids aren't going to understand how you talk about this problem and figure out the solution. They're just gonna possibly yell and say, hey, I told you 100 times, why haven't you figured that out yet? And you have to understand that what they're talking about isn't necessarily you, but your behavior, right? Is your behavior temporary or permanent? Really? No, it's temporary. All behavior is temporary, right? So, I mean, you might be on time all the time. If you do something that you have to being late all the time. Yes. Could you turn that back around into a habit of being on time all the time? Yes, of course. Behavior is temporary. That can change all the time. You guys are going to be here for another 100 years, but your behavior will change consistently. And so the goal is to understand that what they're talking about isn't you as a person. They're talking about a behavior that needs to change. And so in that interpretation, you want to make sure that you're understanding you're not necessarily yelling at you, you're upset because of behavior that you have that change. You can always change the behavior. Yes, you can always change the behavior. So instead of saying, oh, they don't like me, I don't know why they don't like me, they always yell at me, I never can do anything right, right? You're associating yourself with that behavior. Don't do that, right? You're much better than that. So instead, saying, okay, I just simply have to change this behavior. I have to make sure I'm on time, or I get my work done, or I don't jump on the couch anymore, or I put my shoes where they belong so I know where to find them, things like that. Make sense?
Yes.
Keep in mind, and this is mostly for your parents if they're watching later, next week, Monday, we're closed for classes, and then if we open back up, there is an adjustment to the schedule, so make sure moms and dads know the schedule will be different going into next week, and there's no class on Monday. Everybody relax, stand. Not improv as a dedicated student of martial arts. I will live as principal's black belt. Modesty, courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, and indomitable spirit. What is goal? Neutral stance. Position. Set. Courtesy. Up. Impact martial arts. Awesome. Nice job. Air high fives for everybody. Air high five, Zoom team. Nice job, team. Here's Sophia. Here. Make sure Mama knows no class on Monday. And no.